Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing my pregnancy update for month 2 of pregnancy for baby number 2. So sit back, hang out, grab your cup of water, stay hydrated with me, and let's chat about some symptoms and all the things that have happened in month 2 of pregnancy. So this is my second baby. I'm due June 21st and my first son's name is Peter. He is 18 months, so he will be 25 months when this baby's due. So obviously right at 2 years apart. So when I was pregnant with Peter, I shared every single week update here on YouTube, and I will go ahead and leave a link to that playlist if you want to check out week by week for my first pregnancy. But this time around I'm just a little bit busier, have a little more things going on, and I don't feel like things change so much week after week, so I thought that I would instead do a monthly update. So this one's a little bit further behind. I'm currently 12 weeks pregnant, but I've taken notes for every week of pregnancy. I have it in my phone here, so I'm going to go back and share about weeks 5 through 8, which is about month 2 of pregnancy. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more monthly update videos if you want to keep up with my pregnancy journey. So I found out I was pregnant really early, before 4 weeks. I will go ahead and leave a link to that video up above. You can check out my pregnancy test video if you want to see that. But I definitely felt like I was pregnant before I actually took the test, and I talk about that in that video, so you can check that out if you want to learn more. But starting at week 5. So week 5, I was already feeling some pregnancy symptoms for sure. I was feeling tired, had vivid dreams, I was getting some acne, and these are all things that I had even before I found out I was pregnant. But the other thing that was new for this week was I was having some ab muscle spasms, and it was this thing where it was if I would turn a weird way or turn and stand up, then my abs would spasm. And I think I don't know, I'm not a medical professional, but I don't know if it's that my abs are beginning to separate and all these things, that if when I turned weird it freaked it out, which is crazy that early on in pregnancy, 5 weeks pregnant, I would be feeling that. But that definitely continued for a few weeks, and that was something new. I did not experience that with my first son Peter, but all the other things tired, vivid dreams and stuff, that was all very common for me of my first pregnancy. The next week, week 6, is when the nausea started, and I remember this is exactly when the nausea started for my first son Peter as well. And the circumstances of this, when this started for me, this pregnancy, was not great, because we started a flooring project. You see we have new floors here, and so my husband Jacob was redoing the floors of our house, and it took a week, or less than that, but about a week. And so we had all of our sons play things here, and I was staying home with him, and so we turned one of our bedrooms upstairs into a play area, and so we were just confined to this one small space all day. And it was just so hard living in chaos of our house was, you know, not put together at all, because it was empty with, you know, flooring, no flooring in here. And then I felt sick, I was nauseous, had just, you know, the morning sickness feeling, and I would equate it more to just feeling queasy and feeling car sick. I was sitting backwards in a car trying to read a book. That's mostly what it feels like. But that week, week 6, was honestly the worst part of the nausea for me. And again, it was unfortunate timing of our house wasn't put together. It was just hard. And then we have family nearby, but they ended up being out of town that week, so I just felt I was doing it all on my own and just wasn't feeling well. So that was definitely the hardest week, I think, of the nausea. Definitely talked with your doctor of things that you should take to help with it, but I started taking a B6 vitamin, which is what I did with my son Peter as well, and that helped for me. But definitely week 6 was the worst. I've never thrown up because of pregnancy nausea, and I typically don't throw up when I'm nauseous. I definitely get car sick and I have motion sickness, but I do everything within me to not throw up, and I haven't thrown up either pregnancy. And I will say that my nausea this time around is less severe than it was with Peter, which I'm grateful for. Week 6, I also noted the same kinds of things, having vivid dreams, acne, that ab spasm, and also just being tired. And I think a lot of that, I feel I'm more tired this time around, and I think a lot of that is probably because I have an 18-month-old toddler who definitely keeps me busy. So on top of being pregnant, having a toddler, it makes you a little bit more tired. Week 7, I noted more nausea, but again, I feel like the worst of it was like week 6 to, you know, coming into week 7 was definitely the worst. And then burping. This is something new for my pregnancy, but I burp all the time. And so it started at week 7, and I just like sound like a gross man. Like I'm just walk around and belch. I just burp so much. And even like when I sit here and like edit my videos, I have to like edit out all the times that I like pause and burp. I just feel so burpy, especially with the nausea. It was like I would just keep burping too, instead of like actually throwing up, but just like continuously burping. And then other things that I noted were more vivid dreams, feeling tired, and then shortness of breath, which I definitely still feel, but a lot of people noticed that in my videos when I was filming around this time and wasn't sharing publicly that I was pregnant, is that I definitely felt that shortness of breath, which is crazy of you being this early in pregnancy and feeling like you can't fully catch your breath. And then frequent peeing, wake up in the night, have to pee, still do that, you know, now too, every once in a while, but definitely in the beginning, I really felt that and was waking up at least once a night to go pee. Now, week 8, I was still feeling some nausea, but again, not as bad as what it was earlier. So just mostly some morning sickness. It was like when I'd wake up in the morning, I'd feel it then. And then also at night. When I'd wake up in the morning, I'd feel it then, especially if I like didn't eat something right away, get something on my stomach. But then I would also feel it, honestly, mostly at night. Like anything past 8 o'clock, I was just like done because I was exhausted, and then the nausea was starting to kick in. And by like 9:30, I like felt so nauseous, and there were so many times where I like would tell Jacob, I'm like, I need to go to sleep right now or else I might throw up. Like I just need to fall asleep right now. So I definitely felt more of the nausea at night rather than like, it wasn't as bad like in the morning or even like during the day. And with the nausea, I would also feel it like when I was sitting down to eat, oftentimes at dinner, like sitting down to eat dinner, and you just have to get through like the first few bites and then feel okay and then can continue eating. But I found like having just more small frequent meals helped, especially like in the mornings. I would basically have like 3 small breakfasts of like a piece of toast, a piece of cheese, like just every like hour, just have a little snack, and that was definitely helpful. But I've also experienced some aversions and some cravings, not as bad as when I was pregnant with Peter. And I think that is also because I felt more sick when I was with Peter, so I feel like I had more food aversions. But this time around, one big food aversion has been garlic, and I normally love garlic, but this time I just like can't do the garlic. And I even remember at this point in pregnancy, Jacob made this pizza that we get from Costco. It's like a frozen pizza, and it's like my favorite kind of pizza. And he put it in the oven, and it just like the smell was just so overwhelming, and like the garlicky smell, and normally I absolutely love it, but I literally couldn't eat it. I was like, I'm sorry, nope, can't eat it. So Jacob made this whole pizza, and he ate it himself over like 3 days because I couldn't even like have a bite of it. It sounded disgusting. So garlic and like heavily flavored things like that definitely have not liked. Some cravings that I've had have been more like salty foods, salty cheese, cold foods. I've really liked cheese, popsicles, yeah, salty, cold. That's been my jam this pregnancy, which also were some of my cravings with my last pregnancy. I feel like there's been so many things that have been similar thus far with my pregnancy with Peter. Also, during 8 weeks, I noted still being tired, frequent peeing, shortness of breath, more burping, and then some mild sciatica. I felt a lot of sciatica with my first pregnancy. I remember around this point with my first pregnancy, it was like struggling to walk. Like every step I'd take, I'd have like the sciatica nerve pain like shoot down my leg, and it hurt so bad. This time it's not been that bad, but it started at 8 weeks where I just kind of noticed it, like, you know, in my lower back and like hip there, and just some like mild discomfort. And I'll talk more about that as we get into the month 3 update, which will be out soon because I'm already 3 months pregnant, so that video will come soon. But the mild sciatica pain, definitely I started noticing at about 8 weeks. So another thing that I did at 8 weeks pregnant was I took the sneak peek gender test, and I did a whole video on it. I will leave that video up here, and if you're interested in taking the test, you can check it out. And so I did the snap version and did this at 7 weeks, 2 days. I took the test. You can take it as early as 7 weeks. And I ended up getting the results back right before I hit 8 weeks, and we learned that we are having a baby boy, and we're so excited to have another boy. I'm very excited for Peter to have a brother, and especially as they're like 2 years apart. So that was really fun to get to know so early on in this pregnancy, of knowing like what the gender is of the baby. And I'm glad that we were able to find out this early, because it's been fun to then tell other people and be like, we're pregnant and it's a boy, like all together. And I feel like that just like adds some more excitement to that. So the sneak peek test did end up being right, because I took the NIPT test like through my doctor's office at 10 weeks and got the confirmed result, and it is in fact a boy. So the sneak peek was right for us at 7 weeks 2 days is when I took it. And again, I showed the whole process of me doing it in that video, if you can check it out if you want to take it. But yeah, it was really cool to find out this early and know, especially because I didn't have a doctor's appointment until 10 weeks pregnant. So that was just something extra fun. But I would say overall, this pregnancy compared to my last has been more mild. During the second month of pregnancy, I was feeling less nauseous this time around than I was with my son Peter. I remember with Peter, there were a few days there where I literally just like sat like this and was like, had to focus so much to not throw up. And this time I've just generally felt a lot better, and I'm really grateful for that, especially as I'm chasing around a toddler and doing all of those things. Also, I have no bump update for you at this point because I didn't have any kind of bump being 2 months pregnant. But I will say that at this point in pregnancy compared to my first, I definitely did notice more bloat in this stage of pregnancy. And I know that you show quicker. I definitely feel like I'm already showing now at 12 weeks, which we'll talk about in that next update video with it being my second pregnancy. But at this stage, month 2 in pregnancy, it didn't have any sort of bump, just some more bloat there. That is my update for baby number 2's 2-month pregnancy update, weeks 5 through 8. Let me know in the comments below if you're expecting a baby and what are some symptoms that you are feeling in this season of pregnancy. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to keep up on these pregnancy updates and my pregnancy journey for baby boy number 2. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.
Life is a winding road, no